Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Mindset Investor. We are creating generational wealth knowing that it requires only 5% strategy and 95% mindset. So, what is it that we're going to talk about today? Money and wealth from a mindset perspective. So, here's a couple of myths. I'm going to talk about the first one. And I remember this even myself from growing up. My own grandfather used to say that in order to make money or create wealth, you need to break your back. I mean, not necessarily like he didn't mean it in the true sense of breaking your back. He just meant that you really have to work hard. Well, it turns out that this is an actual myth. And you may agree that most of us actually believe that this is true, that we have to work really hard and really long in order to make money and create lots of wealth. But I'm going to reference actually Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich, and I'm just going to paraphrase. I'd love to read it to you, but maybe sometime in the future I will. But in fact, as you may know, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, it it helps people, and it has helped countless thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands of people, to create wealth and make money. And it's based on certain principles. And it is these principles that we are talking about here in this series of the Real Estate Mindset Investor. So Napoleon Hill says, perish the thought. He says, if you think that working hard is what's going to make you the money or create you the wealth, just perish the thought, because that's not what's going to happen. So, of course, he talks about all of the principles in his book, and these are the principles that we're talking about right here. So, what are these principles that we are talking about? Well, if you've heard the series from the beginning, and if you continue listening to the series after this, you will hear about all of these principles. And again, we're touching upon them in short form, and then later on we're going to go deeper into them. But one of the most important ones is the fact that it's the fact that we are accustomed to operating in a certain way. And I've talked about this before. In other words, the way that we think about money, the way that we think about ourselves, and the way that we act is all controlled by our subconscious mind. In other words, our body is operating based on our subconscious mind. And even though we have the knowledge of things that we might want to do or things that we can do, we don't do it because it is our subconscious mind that is controlling us in the first place. And what do I mean by that? So say, for example, I make a certain amount of money. Let's say I make $150,000 or $50,000. It doesn't matter. And maybe we're in debt and we cannot get ahead. Or maybe we are not in debt, but we can't save the money, or we don't have the money to invest. And it is because we're operating in the same way. So regardless of the amount of money that we make, that's not making more money is not what's going to solve the problem. It's because even if we do make more money, we could make 50% more of what we're currently making. We could make 100% more. We could double it. But it is our subconscious mind that is controlling the way that we spend our money, or our usage of that money itself, or of that money in itself. So there you go. I have now touched upon the foundation of what needs to be, of what we need to work on, and it is by changing our habits. And of course, we all know this, but do we all have a system to do so? And that's what we're learning here. We change our habits, but we also seek the knowledge. We have learned, especially those of you that follow this series that are also getting educated in real estate investing. We One of the myths that many of us, including myself, thought is that we weren't able to get into real estate investing because we didn't have enough money. And the fact is that through the education, through the knowledge that we have received, and through experience in itself, we have learned that we don't actually need our own money in order to create generational wealth in real estate. In other words, we can partner up with other people, we could use different types of sources, and that comes with the knowledge. So, so to summarize it, it's definitely not hard work. It's knowledge in the principles of the mind, on how we think about ourselves, and many other principles that we're touching upon here. And it is changing the way that we currently operate and understanding ourselves. By understanding ourselves, we will be able to change the way that we operate. And one way to do it is to follow this series from the beginning all the way to the end and really internalize these ideas. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Hopefully, this was of value to you. I will always welcome any comments, suggestions. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And I will talk to you very soon. Bye for now.